All right, beloved. Real quick video. Gonna absolutely exalt the midheaven Venus today and honor Baal. Venus and Baal, y'all. That's where we're going with it. Let's go. Astrological. Let's pseudo-solar astro-necromancy, right? Because even the sun has a persona and intelligence for us to get access to. Like I said, we should be sun and moon in midheaven heavy. Giving honor to Baal, being the favorite of them all. Long and short, favor, you're trying to get into astral necromancy. Favor, you're trying to get into witchcraft. Favor, you're trying to get something initiated in your life. Favor, you're trying to get out from under an oppressive contract situation and you don't have the right ingredients of opportunity to show up for you to get to it. Favor oriented. Rights and appeals oriented. Look at your astrology. Is your astrology looking good? You might want to reach out for favor. Favor, start with the sun. Honor the sun in the sun's hour on the sun day. Honor the moon on the moon's honor on the moon's day. Right? Which is Monday. Honor the planets on their day and their hour. Go through it. That's the favor train. But you start sun and moon. Venus. Baal Jupiter. Jupiter is Baal. Baal is to be worshipped. Great societies had thousands of years of reign under Jupiter. That is the age we were going to. We moved from the age of Saturn, which is what we were in. We were in the age of Saturn, and it faded out. Now we're seeing the end of all things, ends of certain things. Then's come a change. No, the change is moving to Jove, Jupiter, right? Jovis, right? Anciently, it was Jovis, right? In Greek, or Jove, or Jupiter, right? Same thing. Same guy, same deity. Same great mind power offered for favorable access to earthly, gross reality changes, right? So the favor train, sun and moon, starts sun and moon. Do all the planets for the week, right? And then your service is to sun and moon in midheaven and Jupiter. Got to big up Baal Jupiter because the opportunity, the spirit, the mind toward the intuition, the building process to do all these things comes from the sun and moon, then Venus, then Jupiter. But the opportunities to get these to work for you, you're going to want to work Jupiter so that you can actually get the intuition to start. You have to start with the favored of the favored. Yes, Venus is definitely to be revered. She is the highest thing in our heavens. It's above the sun. So we honor the sun and moon because we can't live without them. We were talking about that earlier. Venus next, Baal Jupiter, right? Not Mars next. Mars is not a light. Let's think about this. It's not a primary light. It is a different activity, right? We recognize it, but we exalt the favored. The favored first and foremost for us humans, this format, whatever format's on this earth, is the sun. Our existence is formatted on it, right? We need that light. We cannot live without the light. And the moon is a lesser light and a time for seasons and indications for all sorts of stuff. And for the changing of the mind. To get your mind to work well, you got to get connected with the moon. In the moon hour, right? In the evening. And have the moon shine on some. There's a whole ritual for it. You can make your own up. But to start the favor train, honoring all the planets in the solar system, we're not talking about all the pantheon of gods. In the Greek system, we're talking about like that because the Greek names are still applied to the solar system. The real rulers are the solar system, guys. We got to go planetarian, Jupiterian, Venusarian, right? Venusian on these motherfuckers. Sun worshippers. Let's worship Ra. I'm with it, right? I think you still get points for the Ra. The tetragrammaton is the sun. So I guess if you say Yahweh, it's the sun, right? It's not Saturn. Yahweh's not Saturn. Yahweh's not the woolly-haired sky lord that the Jews lie about or the Hebrew Israelites lie about. Yahweh is the sun in Hebrew. And when you look at all that stuff, the message is that messianic Assyrian Hebrew script, the tetragrammaton, is the sun. And your earth, fire, water, all that stuff that's broken up in the yod he vah he out of the 4 letters is the elements that get activated by the sun's power. The whole concept here is a parabolic effect, an envelope where certain properties work because of the electromagnetic energy and stuff of the sun, the photon, however you want to look at it, the wavelengths coming from it, banging off all the other things, but specifically coming down here to Malkuth, the earth. You can't live without it. There's some conjecture if the world stopped turning, we'd be able to figure something out. But we know without the sun, we're screwed. There's no way to sustain life. And if we look at it, between Mars and the Earth, it's actually colder at the poles at the Earth by a significant number of degrees, like 20, 30 degrees. Without the moon, we would not be alive. We'd be like Mars. There'd be nothing there. There'd be no way to keep water. The moon has something to do with keeping water on the surface, correct? Right? This place has been reformatted. We believe the moon didn't even exist at one point in time. That this was just a different thing. This is just formatted over and over. Every time the cosmic recycler decides to do something, it could bring in rock in or whatever from outer and bring it into seed. It could seed Mars. It could bring a moon on Mars. It could move it into the Earth's rotation. These things organize the whole cohesion of the microcosm here. And they're intelligent. Their intelligences make it here. Right? They even control all the animals and stuff. It's all an intelligence waveform. Right? Because they have an intelligence. Right? Even at the atomic level, there's some sort of intelligence. Right? A response to stimuli. Well, if it responds to stimuli, then what do we have? Some sort of awareness at some sort of conscious level. Well, that's impossible. Well, anything that's continually moving that we see in life, because we know that our mind puts things together that's a constant reframe, we're creating a continuity out of it. Because we know psychologically that this mind, it's like a flame that flickers, and then the mind puts it together as a smooth image, right? There's something to that, right? And without the sun, how do we get an image, right? We don't get a constant image, right? We need all these things. We need these intelligent things around us to be recognized in order to be back into harmony, right? We think something's going to happen where they're going to create a break-off society. It's going to get into the minds of people to do a certain thing. Just like witchcraft gets into the minds of people to do a certain thing. And then it gets confirmed by a thing that exists. We believe that there's a fantastic reality available that used to exist. A reversion to a polarity that had those ingredients, right? That spirit, if you will, that mind power, that access to fantastic features in the reality that are still in the realm of possible, but may have been walled off because the mind power and capacitance for them is not there. If you can't believe it's possible, and there's no one that believes it's possible, and there's no one holding any information to create a possibility for it, or to reach up into a celestial motive to get that information, then where is the information or the possibility going to come? Now, those fantastic possibilities must exist in some capacity, more than just speech, right? Manifest reality is possible with them. We believe there is a polarity available that's on its way and moving through. And that other people should get onto that polarity and get access to the favor train through honoring the solar system. It's like a pantheon. But the gods are the actual planets, because the planets are alive. If there's life on this planet, every one of them has an intelligence, which is why astrology has always been trying to allude to the fact that these things are alive. They have something to do with the emanations of your own individuality, right? Which is why we can hate you for your stars. The gods hate you for your stars. They wanted the people that were astrologically pure, period, right? And that's it. We think we're going to a time Well, there's some of that. The astrologically pure are going to serve the gods, and the rest of them, we're going to be in the same society doing the thing, right? The only difference is the Templar process is going to be captivated by those that are favored by the gods, right? The society is still going to roll on. It's going to be extremely prosperous. It's going to have splendor and art and stuff that never was for generations, right? Like back to the Gilded Age concept, but even better. Because the ingredients for that were even kind of only in a couple of spots where rich people were, where the public is going to have access to the kind of splendor because they're going to be involved in it, right? It's going to have to be produced. Just some thoughts. Manifest reality can be flexed. And we know that the earth wants a change. But no one wants the biblical paradigm. That's a fucking terrifying paradigm that no one benefits from except a tiny fraction of people. And everyone want to go to slavery for that? I don't want to go to slavery under those assholes. They're a bunch of lying motherfuckers. Yahweh is the fucking sun. And it's everywhere. They put it in the stupid Bible because Saturn wants them to remind them of when they fucking crucified the persona of the sun and they're burying around an effigy. You know, they have to bear that cross because they did that thing. We didn't do that thing. We were the astrologically pure that feared the gods. They were like, no, you liars ought to respect the things that you did. And if you can't get out of your own paradigm, that's your own problem. We'll serve Baal Jupiter. We'll serve Venus. We'll serve the gods. We'll serve the sun. We'll serve the moon, the things that actually give us life. Because that seems smart to me. There's some thoughts, beloved.